Good morning and welcome to Mission Alive. Today I would like to talk about two places where I worked in Papua New Guinea, just to show you how Mission Alive can be different with different people. When I was at Dio, the women would come down and sit on the grass outside the hospital or outside the church, outside the school, anywhere where there was a nice patch of green grass. Most likely near the hospital because there was a little river running down there and everybody liked the sound of water running down. So we'd sit there and talk. I just go straight out, sit down and begin to talk with the women. They had all been to school earlier, to our missions at Sadir, even at Dio. Dio hadn't been started very long when I went there. I went there in January 59 and the mission had only, the sisters had only gone there in September 1957. So it had only been open for just over a year. The women were very friendly and I'd sit down and we'd talk, we'd tell stories. They wanted to know who I was, where I came from, how old was my mother and father, how many children in the family, everything about me. And we sat and talked and we got to know each other very, very well. They were very beautiful, gentle women. From there, later on, I went to the Trobes. When I went to the Trobes and I was in the convent, the women would come in the afternoon to bring their children's food. They wanted the girls to stay with the sisters. So the girls and the boys too boarded for a week. They came in on Sunday and they went home on Friday. But the women in the nearby villages, they too wanted their daughters and sons to come to the mission. So they came and stayed in the dormitories, and every afternoon their mothers and fathers would come from Kapapu, Tayava, Akaiboma and bring food to their children. And they would sit on a cement tank outside the kitchen. And the noise was so frightening. They shouted at each other. They went so fast, blah, 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 so fast, so fast, so fast. I said to Sister Xavier, what are they fighting about? Sister Xavier said, they're not fighting. They're just talking to each other. Go out and walk among them. So I must admit I didn't go out that day. I waited for a while. And after a while I went out and I walked around and looked at them and they all smiled and said, hello, sister. And then eventually I sat down on the cement tank and they turned to me and they started to ask me the same questions. Where did I come from? Who was my mother and father? How many brothers and sisters did I have? All the questions that they wanted to know that told me about them, about me. And so we became very, very good friends, just like we had at Dio. When my mother and father came to visit us, one night a woman, a very, very important woman, the daughter of a chief, Rosemary came to give something to Sister Xavier. And she said to Sister Xavier, who are those people sitting on the veranda? Sister Xavier said, they're Sister Helen's parents. And Rosemary said, I want to talk to her mother. So Rosemary came in, stood in front of my mother, bowed very graciously, and began to talk all in her own language. Not one word did my mother understand. But she just looked at Rosemary and listened because she knew she was telling her something very important. When she'd gone, my mother asked me, what did she say? And I said, well, she thanked you for giving me to them. And just like you were my mother, they too now were my mother. And they would look after me just as you looked after me. They would make sure nothing happened to me, just like sure you would have made sure nothing happened to me when I was young. My mother was very, very impressed. She knew I was safe among the Trobriand Island women, among the Trobriand Island people. So we can't expect all people to be the same. Everybody's different. And part of Mission Alive is adjusting to those people, making ourselves fit in with the different people we meet, the different people we work with. Now in every country of the world, there are so many different people. People have emigrated. People have been forced out of their own country into another country. People come away for education to a foreign country. We are all mixed, we are not one. We are all mixed together. And we form one that way, not just one in one country, but one in a country with many people in it. So Mission Alive means mixing in with other people. Mission Alive means making myself a friend of all whom I meet. So as you go out today, take care. Be gentle, be kind to everyone. The ones who are gentle, the ones who aren't so gentle. They are gentle in heart. They are gentle in mind. It's only the way they express themselves so enthusiastically, so vigorously, whereas other people express themselves so gently. So be prepared and make sure you live Mission Alive today. Goodbye.